observing a 1 week. This humble visitor, his mission to my office, I'll let you know. He said to me in the very soft voice, "Oh, I want to speak to my people on TV. And I have not featured on TV before. But I have done some radio programs, and this is my mission to your Crystal TV office, to seek advice and to know how to go about it." He came in a company of one other elder, Elder Frimpong. I understand he passed on to the Lord. The very humble gentleman I'm talking about is the Lord's own Reverend Dr. Kwadwo Boakye. He wants to put the church program on TV. Just listen to what transpired between us that day, which I'm sharing with you today. You all know that Crystal TV has multiple channels, and there is one particular channel that all Christians all over the world tune into, because this channel broadcasts not only in Ghana, but across the world. So I was so very happy to offer this channel to him. I told him, and these were my words: "Reverend, I'm offering you space on our very popular religious channel, all Christian tuning, to watch." And this was his answer to me. He said, especially because I told him, "You will be very popular and your church will be so great and massive." He looked into my face, very, very unassuming, and he said, "My mission is not to become popular. I want you to give me space on the channel where there are," you use the word, "ruffians and worldly minded people. I want to reach my people who will genuinely change to God's way, and not those who believe they already know God." Immediately, in my surprise, I was touched and knew that this is a chosen man of God who is on a very special mission to his Father who sent him. God makes such souls descend for the ascension of others, and Reverend Dr. Kwadwo Boakye is one of such heavenly guests here on earth. He was very humble in spirit, very focused, and never proud. And he reminded me of a very pompous man, very pompous and worldly man. And this story I'm going to tell you will let us understand who Reverend Dr. Boakye is truly is among us. This pompous man went to a boat side, trying to cross over the ocean, and he found 3 boatmen, and he wanted to test how wealthy and self-sufficient that they are, or rather they were. And so he met them, the boatmen, and asked them. The first one he met, he said, "How wealthy are you? How self-sufficient are you? I hope you're not wasting your life." So the first boatman answered and said, "The grace is sufficient for me." He looked at this boatman and said, "Anyway, I don't think this man really knows how to live in this world." And he went to the second boatman. And the second boatman, he asked the same question, and the second boatman said, I have the authority in my hand. I can do anything, and I can't count all the things for you to understand. He said, my boat is there, and you will see the number of people in the boat. He got to the third one with so much wealth. And this man said to him, whatever I command in my authority, it will be done. Then he was proud. He said, this is the man whose boat I want to use. So he went to the shore with this man. And getting there, he saw thousands of people already in the boat. And so there was no space to be carried in that boat. So he had to move off to another boat, the one before the first, because he needs to cross that day. And when he got there, it was also full. He had no choice than to meet the one who said, the grace is sufficient for me. Reluctantly, he followed this boatman, and when he got to the shores to enter the boat, he found nobody, but he had to cross. So he wanted to ask this man how perfect he is to do the job. The question he asked him was, my friend, let me even find out from you, do you know oncology? And the boatman said, I don't know oncology. All I know is the grace is sufficient for me. He told the boatman, 10% of your life is wasted if you don't know this. Do you know anthropology? So he continued. Zoology, big words. Then he will tell him that 50% of your life is wasted. See how gentle-like you look, and you are not pursuing anything. They crossed and got to the middle of the ocean. Then the weather got changed, and the ocean started becoming wild. At that time, this pompous man got to the level of telling this boat he has wasted 90% of his life already, because every question he asks him, he cannot answer. His answer is only the grace is sufficient. Then the boatman saw the weather. Then he tapped on this worldly man and asked him, my friend, where we are, there is a problem coming. I can understand the ocean. And I want to ask you one question. Do you by chance, through the grace of God, learned about what is called swimmology? And the man said, I've never heard this word before. He says, it meant swimming. He said, no. Then he told the man, 100% of your life is doomed immediately, because what is coming, you cannot swim, you are gone. This boatman swam to the end, and he was able to find himself alive. This boatman, whose grace, God's grace is sufficient for, is Reverend Dr. Kwadwo Boakye. He has come to teach us how to live sufficiently by the grace of God.